Hello, everyone, and welcome back to DSP versus the Internet, episode 90, the final episode. We're going to watch an hour of clips. Right now, the final clips ever to be reacted to on this show. Don't worry, there is more reacting coming from a longer form show soon. But for now, the great send-off. So let's do it. Let's see what clips you guys have left for me. Let's see what's next. Now, I'm just going to forewarn everyone. Whenever I watch anything anime, YouTube blocks it. So I'm going to try to watch this clip, but we may get blocked and I may have to skip it.
Shinji Ikari is the main character of the show Neon Genesis Evangelion, or Evangelion for short. Evangelion is about...
Is it Evangelion? I thought it was Evangelion. But if it's Evangelion, I've mispronounced it literally forever. There you go.
About a futuristic city called Tokyo 3, which is under attack from giant monsters called angels. To combat this, a militaristic organization known as NERV summons 3 teenagers to pilot giant mechs known as Eva units to fight off these angels. Shinji is one of these teenagers, along with 2 teenage girls named Rei and Asuka. Rei and Asuka are both adept at piloting the Eva units and have very little trouble fighting. Shinji, on the other hand, is extremely apprehensive about nearly every encounter with having to pilot his Eva and fight the angels.
Yeah, isn't it like basically he's like anti-violence, but for some odd reason he's chosen to be the one to pilot it. So it's kind of like he's fighting against his own nature and beliefs to save humanity or something like that. I think that's the theme of the anime. I haven't seen it in a zillion years, so I don't remember.
It's this apprehensiveness that makes him relatable as a character. Shinji is extremely afraid to fight these giant monsters in these giant mechs, just like anyone, especially a 14-year-old boy, would be. A lot of the times he
Oh, he's only 14? I didn't realize he was that young. Okay.
runs away and doesn't want to pilot his Eva unit because he's too scared or anxious. He's an anime character who's believable, and who you could easily see as being a person in the real world. A lot of teenage and young adult main characters in anime, especially in shonen series, are seemingly fearless in their actions. Now, this usually makes sense in the context of the character's world. For instance, Monkey D. Luffy from One Piece has a ton of confidence because of his upbringing around tough, yet morally questionable, male figures in his life, as well as his devil fruit abilities that turn his body into rubber. It makes sense that Luffy has the confidence to take charge and chase his dreams of becoming the greatest pirate, especially since he lives in an era where a ton of other people are trying the exact same thing. His personality fits.
I'm shocked, quite frankly, that YouTube hasn't already got me into trouble, but I'm going to pause here just to be safe because I feel like I have to break this up or else it's going to get claimed and blocked, okay? Let's see.
In with the other characters in the story, as it's very clear that One Piece isn't trying to craft realistic personalities, and neither are a ton of other shonen series. And again, this isn't a bad thing at all. It just leads to unrelatable characters being represented a lot of the times, which isn't a bad thing. A lot of people watch anime for escapism or to watch unrealistic characters that are very strong. Shinji Ikari is relatable though because he represents a realistic personality type. He has believable emotions, believable fears, and believable struggles with social interaction. He isn't someone that you can easily look up to and aspire to be, he's someone that you see yourself in. And I think that's what makes the character so highly praised, and
I get that. I do understand that. You know, not everyone can be Superman, right? I mean, it's great to have Superman, but it's also good to have a story of a relatable character that you can think, oh, I have some connection to that character because I've been through stuff that they go through. So that makes a lot of sense.
so highly disliked by a lot of people. And I think a lot of the people who dislike Shinji as a character are a little misguided. Now, don't get me wrong, you can absolutely hate Shinji as a character, and that's completely fine. Though whenever I read comments like, why doesn't Shinji just man up, or why doesn't Shinji just shut up and pilot the Eva, I sort of think the people that write these comments and say these things might have a misunderstanding of what Evangelion is trying to accomplish as a show. The show, to me, is more about the characters' feelings and emotions than it is about watching robots fight each other. Every fight scene is used to develop the characters and show how they handle the disastrous events and how they contextualize them in their minds. We get a lot of humanization of Evangelion's characters, and Shinji is a prime example of this. We see him struggles with issues with his father, issues with talking to women, and issues with communicating and understanding the gravity of the situation he's in. He's a more nuanced human main character than a lot of main characters, though I do understand.
So it's pretty crazy because he's a realistic main character to someone who is of his age or his experience level in life, but he's thrown into this impossible, way over the top position that imagine if it was you and you were 14, but you were expected to save the world by piloting a robot to kill monsters, right? Like, what the hell? So I get it. That kind of makes sense.
Understand how it could be frustrating to see Shinji not take action when he needs to, especially since his peers are so much better at fighting than he is, and he's the main character. This never really bugged me though, and I thought it was interesting to have a main character done like this and have it portrayed so well. A lot of anime do the whole weak main character thing, but Shinji's a fantastic example of the concept. The director of the series, Hideki Anno, has said that each character in the series reflects a part of his personality, and I think that really shows with Shinji. Anno has a pretty public and well-known history with clinical depression, and you could see that reflected in the character of Shinji, as Shinji is depressed and withdrawn through much of the series. You can see Anno's depression seep into other parts of the series, such as parts of its production and certain parts of it being rushed.
And isn't the ending incredibly like weird, depressing? It makes no sense, but it's done that way on purpose. Like, don't people say like Evangelion is kind of like the David Lynch anime, where it's just wild and out there, but it's done for a reason. It's like for art rather than it doesn't need to have a coherent story by the end or something like that, right? Felix the Maid says this video is not telling the truth. Shinji is a depressed character who lost his mother as a baby. He was never meant to be portrayed as the best character ever. Yeah, but that's what the video is saying. They're saying he's not meant to be portrayed as the best, the strongest. He's meant to be portrayed as a realistic character. That humans are not Superman. Not every human is a fucking superhero. We all have emotions. We all have shortcomings. We all suffer from things like depression or other emotional issues, you know, mental issues. And it's good that they actually had a main character that had that rather than, oh, I'm super and I jump in the wreck and I save everyone with absolutely no conflict or strife whatsoever. Everything's hunky-dory, right? I think that's what they're trying to get at here.
You can tell that the series is very genuine, and especially the character of Shinji. He comes from a very honest and genuine place, and I think this honesty is what makes Shinji one of my favorite anime characters. Well, that's all for this video.
There you go. Okay, cool. I mean, I've never seen the whole show. Like I said, I've seen parts of Evangelion, however you say it, but I've seen them all out of sequence because they used to play this late night on Adult Swim on Cartoon Network. So I would watch it some nights, but I've never actually seen it in order to understand any of it. So maybe one day I would want to do that, especially because people talk about it all the time and reference it.
No one knows who came up with the idea of squeezing oranges to make juice.
What?
The popularity of orange juice increased dramatically in the middle of the 20th century, as techniques were developed to extend its shelf life. Today, many people start their day with a tall glass of OJ. In its purest form, orange juice is fresh squeezed and has no added sugar or preservatives. This brand produces unpasteurized orange juice so natural, they don't even require their oranges to be orange. Orange juice production starts in the groves. The trees take several months to bear fruit and are harvested in early November.
Very green.
Picking oranges
Ava Cowboy Fan, we did not watch your other video yet. It's still in the running to be watched the next hour, so.
is a job that's done entirely by hand. It could be done by machines, but it's not. The worker uses a bag that's made from recycled orange peels to keep the grove as environmentally friendly as possible. There are multiple types of juicing oranges. These ones here are called short stack oranges. They're known for being small, juicy, and are used as a powerful aphrodisiac in certain cultures. The worker
Wow, they look way different than the oranges that we would expect, don't they? They are much smaller. They don't even have the texture on the outside yet, and they're green. But then again, if all you're doing is juicing them, then you don't need them to have the signature look or, you know, texture. No one's going to be touching or eating that. They're just going to be drinking the juice, so that makes sense.
plucks the fruit from the trees before they turn orange. In this stage, they are
How long is this video? 5
known
minutes?
as
Okay.
greens. Originally, orange juice was known as green juice, but the name was changed as common consumers assumed green juice was made from leaves and grass. As the worker empties the greens into a collection bin, he is supposed to examine them for tears and punctures, but he isn't paid nearly enough to do that.
Yeah, you see? I don't think this is real. This is a parody video, isn't it? Bugabees, how it's actually made orange juice. I think we've seen these before, and it's fake. Yeah, it's a joke video. All right, so it's meant to be funny. Okay.
The greens are taken to a processing facility via the back end of a decommissioned dump truck, which has been sanitized just enough to meet FDA standards.
Just enough.
A chute tumbles the unripe oranges into a wash station. A sprayer coats the oranges in soapy water, which are then brushed against an array of pasta noodles. This motion both cleans the oranges and zests and boils the pasta, which will...
See? It zests and boils the pasta. He's so full of it. Those are brushes to clean it, obviously.
Later be shipped off to Italian restaurants, doubling the Grove's yearly profits. The oranges transition to a roller conveyor, which places them under large fans to prevent them from overheating due to stress. An orange's natural body temperature can be as high as 140 degrees before this stop.
Of course. So it's becoming more exaggerated the more you watch. It starts off like truthful, and then it just keeps exaggerating further and further the further in you go.
A local thief will sneak into the factory after having stolen a brand new iPhone.
There you
go. To
go.
reward himself for a job well done, he will fondle an orange. The oranges travel.
So what I think it is, this is legit footage of how they make orange juice, but this guy dubs the commentary over it. That's different.
Along a series of revolving brushes, which continually spin to... Oh, did I say something wrong? They stopped spinning. Oh, there they go. Thank God. The brushes buff the fruit skin and remove any residual dirt. Finally, the oranges fall from the conveyor line straight into your shopping cart, and your weekly shopping is now complete.
There you go. Amazing.
Wait, what? The oranges can now be juiced. Since the cameras are rolling, the juicing operator performs one final inspection before she places the oranges in the juicer.
Only because the cameras are rolling.
As soon as we finished filming, she began to fling oranges into the juicer willy-nilly as fast as she could. The system promises the oranges they'll be going on a nice, relaxing vacation before funneling them one at a time into the extractor.
Wow.
Then the extractor mercilessly squashes the life out of the orange, brutalizing its juicy insides for our consumption in a thick, pulpy mess. The juice flows into a plastic storage bin taken from the owner's garage. A screen in the bin filters out the pulp, so no one has to be a whiny pussy about having pulp in their orange juice.
There you go.
The juice is bottled into jugs. The plastic jugs contain preservative chemicals in them that seep into the juice over time, prolonging their shelf life. This technicality allows the Grove to call their juice unpasteurized, as the juice itself technically doesn't contain preservatives. The juice is refrigerated immediately to further prolong its shelf life. This juice brand is one of the few in the United States that can call itself orange juice. Many large brands such as Tropicana, Simply, and Minute Maid are legally called orange-flavored drink because they are in fact 98% water and sugar with trace amounts of oranges for flavor. And don't even get me started on the travesty known as orange soda. That would take an entire episode of its own.
There you go. Okay, we're on to the next video. I want to see if that was the end. I hit pause and we were already on the next video. Cool. Andre the DJ says, with this video being a parody, you can call it Pulp Fiction. Got a nice pun in. That was a good one. Thank you, Andre. All right, let's see what this is. I want it that way. Wait a minute. We already did this. Tell me why. Is this a second joke about tell me why?
You look so angry. You want me to read your mind.
Oh, no.
And know why. Why are you mad at me? Tell me why. Is it because you're hungry? Tell me why did I cheat on you in your dreams? Tell me why. I already know what you'll say. Don't touch me, just go away.
Wow.
Now I can see that saying sorry will just make you even more angry.
You never said sorry anyway.
No matter what I did, just want you to know that you mean the world to me. I got you sushi. I did the laundry. So please won't you smile and forgive me.
Did you get me sushi?
I can. Are you hungry? Are you hungry? Are you hungry? Are you hungry?
2 years ago, Burger King put out an ad.
That was some good. That was some funny videos this week. That was a pretty good one. This next one, how long is it? 5 minutes. When is this from? A year ago. So this is basically a year. He said 2 years. So this would be 3 years ago. Okay.
That shocked millions of viewers. Instead of showing off their signature Whopper in a typical mouth-watering fashion, they took the complete opposite route and showed off their burger completely covered in mold. You're probably thinking, why would a fast food chain show off its most popular product in the worst way possible? Well, you're not wrong in thinking that. A stunt like this goes against all rules of fast food advertising. So why did they do it? Today, we're going to cover the gross yet interesting story about the Moldy Whopper ad. Not only are we going to cover the controversy behind the ad, but also
Is it because there was rumors that McDonald's food is so fake and processed that if you were to leave it, it wouldn't get moldy. It would just sit there forever and never what's the word? Not degrade, not degenerate, decay. It would never decay. I think that's what it is.
also discuss why this ad was actually a success. But to do that, we first need to know why Burger King would even think about making a commercial like this in the first place. Which brings us to February 2020. At the time, Burger King's chief marketing officer, Fernando Machado, was brainstorming ways to tell the masses that their signature Whopper sandwich was now 100% preservative-free. With health issues on the rise and consumers becoming more mindful about what they put into their bodies, Burger King made the switch to use more natural ingredients to please these health-conscious consumers. However,
And they were arguing McDonald's is like so full of preservatives that their shit never decomposes.
Simply telling customers this wouldn't have been effective in changing their perspective of Burger King at all. Why? Well, because they're still a fast food restaurant. Fast food is essentially the polar opposite of eating healthy, so simply telling consumers that Burger King was now healthy would get a yawn at best. Fernando knew this, so he knew Burger King needed to go big with their announcement to turn heads and get people to pay attention. And so, with that in mind, Fernando and his team created this.
What a difference a day made.
Over a 34-day time-lapse, we see Burger King's now preservative-free Whopper slowly but surely start to decay and build layers of mold. The ad features excruciating close-ups of the bun, patty, and toppings all getting furrier and furrier, eventually leading to an inglorious blue slump on the 34th day. The ad then ends with the quote, "The beauty of no artificial preservatives." This ad breaks all rules of meal promotion. Most fast food ads typically involve beautifully shot items that have been set up by food stylists. But here, Burger King broke that golden rule and showed off their food in the most repulsive way possible. But despite the bold approach, Burger King succeeded in getting millions of people to pay attention. But was that attention good? Well, at first glance, it was horribly negative. Everyone was shocked by the boldness of the ad and couldn't comprehend why Burger King would pull off such an insane stunt. But even worse, people were disgusted with the commercial. Unsurprisingly, viewers' appetites were instantly turned off by the gross Whopper transformation, and multiple studies proved it. One study found that the most popular associations among viewers of the ad were disgusting, gross, and weird. And another study found that 26% of the people surveyed said they were turned off from purchasing a Whopper after watching the ad. And not only were people disgusted, but they were confused. No one understood why Burger King would show off their best-selling product in the worst way imaginable. It made zero sense in the public's eye, and some people even deemed the campaign as part of an insidious drive by corporations to boost their social and moral authority. Another great argument made against the ad was that although the visual of the mold transformation was creative, it was for the wrong brand. Prior to the ad, Burger King didn't have any fresh food credibility, and the health-conscious audience the ad was targeted to likely wasn't going to Burger King in the first place. So
That's a very good point. Like, why did Burger King care about changing their food to not have preservatives when the customer base for Burger King doesn't care about that? You don't go to Burger King to eat healthy food. You go there to get a quick meal that tastes good, and you know you're putting on the fat and the calories, but it's your guilty pleasure. You're not going to say, oh, I can eat Burger King and it's healthy. So it doesn't even make sense that they made the swap to preservative-free anyway. And then it doesn't make sense that they made the ad. It's like a double whammy of miscalculation by Burger King management.
So this one-off ad about a healthier Whopper likely wasn't going to change their minds at all. On top of that, Burger King's other options, like their fries, are still loaded with preservatives. Their restaurants are usually dirty, and their burgers tend to sit under a hot light for a few hours, all of which don't help their credibility of being healthy. And to put the nail in the coffin, only 5% of Burger King locations had the preservative-free Whopper on the release date of the ad, so most of their customers couldn't even get one if they wanted to. It was clear as day that the initial reaction to this ad was horrible, and further studies that were conducted kept proving this point. Another study asked viewers of the ad to note their reactions after watching it, and the results showed that a majority of their answers included words such as gross, awful, inappropriate, and eerie. However, many of them also contained the word but. What could this mean? Well, it turned out that while viewers acknowledged the gross, unappetizing visuals, they also understood and appreciated the boldness of the ad, and more importantly, the message behind the ad. The rotting burger was not appealing to me as a customer, but I liked the realness it involved. I'm unlikely to go to Burger King, as I do not often eat fast food burgers, but knowing that Burger King is making an effort to only use fresh ingredients in their meals does make me think positively about the company. This ad is very surprising, but it makes sense. As more and more data came in following the ad's release, Burger King started to realize that they actually hadn't produced a complete failure, but rather a smashing success. The ad generated over 8.4 billion impressions across all forms of media, and 88% of the articles written about the ad were either positive or neutral. Additionally, another study revealed that the Moldy Whopper campaign reached a level of awareness 50% higher than Burger King's 2019 Super Bowl campaign. The disgusting portrayal of the Whopper boosted awareness of the removal of artificial preservatives by 400%, and shockingly, Burger King sales increased by 14% as a result of the ad, and consideration to visitation to Burger King increased by 22.8%. After the cold hard data rolled in, tons of publishers and marketing executives praised Fernando's idea and quickly adopted the Moldy Whopper ad as an amazing success. And I agree with them. Sure, there could have been safer.
I don't. Think about it. Is that appetizing to you looking at that? Does that make you hungry? If you were hungry, you're probably not hungry anymore. You're trying to imagine what that's going to taste like in your mouth, right? So I get it. I understand it. But I don't think that it was a smart move because no one cares about preservative-free food at fast food restaurants. Sorry. Okay.
Today we're playing Black Ops 6. I already beat the hardest part of the game, which is installing it on Battle.net, which is the worst client I've ever seen in my entire life. The Call of Duty games also now have their own built-in client. So if you're buying this game on Steam, you have to turn it on Steam, then it opens up the Blizzard client, then that opens up the Call of Duty client, and then you need the game on the Call of Duty client.
Is that true? Because I don't have it through there. I have it through Game Pass. So I boot through an Xbox app. So I don't have to deal with anything with Activision at all. That's terrible if that actually is true.
So
Holy
you're going
shit.
3 clients deep at that point. Now we're preloading the shaders. Then we can start loading them in. And then once that's loaded in, then maybe there'll probably be a new update. We'll get that update. Probably have to reinstall the whole game, reload all the shaders, and then we can play Black Ops 6. And then we're good to go. Yes. Love those guys. Treyarch, Raven, okay. High Moon, B-Nox, Activision Shanghai Studio, so different games. My God, how many people made this? What? Okay, we gotta restart again. An error has occurred while launching the game. Please check for updates or scan and repair to fix this issue. Oh my God, just let me play. This game is made by 15 studios and it can't even launch. It won't launch. The blockbuster event of the year has arrived. We just have to scan every file now because none of them worked properly.
Luckily for me, I've been playing it all month. I have not had this issue, but my issue is the game crashes all the time, right? Like every time I've played it, I think it's crashed at least a couple times.
Can't install games right. Oh man, we've been sitting at 1% for about 5 minutes now. Okay, well, we're back to 0%. Nice. Okay, we're back at 1%. Okay, well now we're starting to get to the action. 0%.
0.
Back down. Okay, we're back at 1%, baby. Here we go. I haven't played a game this exciting since Overwatch 2 launched. 2%. Oh, yeah. This is new
Overwatch
territory.
2.
Oh, we're back down to nothing. Get up there. Do I see 3? Do I see 3% scanned? Come on, Call of Duty. We can do this. We can do this. Come on. Fear is the ultimate weapon. Oh, back down to 0. Back down to nothing. They build you up and they knock you back down. If you get 5% files scanned, you get a kill streak. I just want to point out that Animal Well was made by one person. The game runs.
Of course, he has to
takes
plug the
like
game he
1 second
financed
to install and then works. Call of Duty made by 70 studios doesn't open. How much does Animal Well cost right now? $25 for a game that works, launches in the client that you buy it on. Black Ops, $70 or $100 for the Vault Edition. If it is the truth you seek, look in the dark. Oh, I see a sheet of paper here. It says Call of Duty fucking sucks. I give up on the scan and fix, it's not working. I'm just gonna reinstall it, I guess. All right, it's been like 10 minutes. We're still looking at this, but hey, one of these days, you know, it's gonna start reinstalling, and then we can, you know, relive the excitement of the installation process. That's what Black Ops 6 is all about. Something went wrong while trying to launch a program. Try restarting Battle.net or your computer. No, I wasn't trying to launch a program. I was trying to install a program. It's still trying to do it, actually. Okay, I'm gonna hit the install. Shout out to Blizzard Activision, one of the highest rated companies in the world right now. Black Ops 6 is here. Is it? For a while I couldn't even find like where you install Black Ops 6 because it's not actually like its own game on the client. You see, like Vanguard, that's its own game. Modern Warfare, Cold War, Black Ops 4, those are their own things. Black Ops 6, I couldn't even find where it is. You have to click on the Call of Duty thing, and then you hit install, and then it's like on here. That is just dumpster level presentation. It's not even consistent at all. Okay, it's been like 10 minutes now of this. I'm just gonna reset the computer, I guess. Okay, I restart the computer. Turn that off, turn that off, turn off Warzone. Just want Black Ops 6. Doesn't even know how big the file size is. Maybe Black Ops 10 is where they'll figure out like how to actually install a game. Oh my god, it's installing. Okay, what happened? What happened? We just started installing, now it's saying update. Call of Duty needs to be patched. You didn't even install it yet. 4K graphics. AMD FSR 3.1 at launch, 500 plus customization options on PC, crossplay and protected by Ricochet anti-cheat, but doesn't actually install or launch the game yet. We haven't figured that out. Call of Duty is now installing, so let's go over here, see how many times we can install Animal Well while that installs. Boom, okay. Animal Well's installed, nice, but does it launch from the client that you bought it in? Let's find out. Oh, launches perfectly. Wow, look at that. And we're already playing the game. Nice. Restart Battle.net in your computer. Only about 80 gigabytes to go. So let's go ahead and uninstall Animal Well, reinstall. Okay, we got it back. Uninstall.
I mean, I get his frustration, but it's a shameless plug for the game that he's gonna make money on if it sells, because it's a pixel art game and it's like 30 megabytes. So of course you could do that. I mean, I understand. This game should not give you these problems. By the way, it doesn't if you get it through the Xbox app. If you get it through the Xbox app, it just installs and you're done. It doesn't have issues. It sounds like if you get it through Steam is where you have the problems. So, Spawn Killer, thanks for 20 months as a super member. Have I decided what the long form react will be? No, we're going to start doing that soon. People who are ultra members of this channel will be able to start suggesting topics or videos for that starting this week, actually. What we're going to do is usually I would do the threads for the next week after this show ends, like that night. So tonight I will do that so ultra members can suggest, and submissions to your members will be able to actually submit content for my political show that's going to start on Thursday. So, but no, and the long form react I want to take a little time to plan out. We'll probably have these reacts, you know, take a hiatus for about a month. They'll probably do a long form react sometime in December. Okay. All right. So folks, thank you for watching DSP versus the internet. When we come back, it is the conclusion of the series, the final reacting to clips. Thank you. See you then.